Alright, so we're not at a stage of any tour today, we're not at a one-day race. We're actually in the period after the racing. So we've just got back from Taiwan and now most of the riders are having a short break or they've already started building for the next block. In light of this, I just thought it might be good to do a bit of a vlog on some of the other stuff, the other components of cycling away from race day. Today I'm going to go for a fairly short recovery ride. I'm having a bit of a week off. And it's a good chance to sort of see where you're at, do a bit of planning for the next build up to Europe, and part of that is checking out my body composition. You can do this in a number of ways, skin folds, but also there's a thing you can get, which I'm getting today, called the DEXA scan. The DEXA scan is sort of like the gold standard. It gives you all sorts of information. The DEXA will break me right down and give me a very good idea of where I'm at. So, yeah, just here in Albury going into the Gardens Medical Clinic where Lifescan lives. We'll show it to you. Ty here, who you've just seen, he's the what's your official sort of title here?
I'm a radiographer, but I'm clinical manager of the X-ray group. Yeah.
There you go, very official. So Ty, can you just run us through this machine here?
Yeah, no.
What we have to do?
No worries, Neil. So what we have in front of us that Neil will probably show soon is the DEXA scanner. Okay, and the DEXA scanner with the software packages that we have at the X-ray group allow us to measure within 1/10 of a gram Neil or anyone who gets the scans muscle mass or lean tissue mass, their fat mass, and their bone mass as well. So from there we can figure out someone's visceral fat, so the toxic fat around the internal organs, their body fat percentage, and their bone density as well. So we get a whole lot of important health indicators for the general public and also performance indicators for someone like yourself when we're dealing with power to weight ratio and trying to improve that so that that the times come down. So yeah,
excellent. And I guess I better gown up.
Not completely nude this time now, just in the gown, leave the jocks on and we'll get you on the scanner.
Yeah, a bit different to last time. Oh no, the moment of truth has arrived. So we're all done the scan and we're about to go through the results. So Ty, walk us through it.
Let's do it. So when you come and get a life scan with this DEXA machine, the first results we get is all to do with your bone health. So there's a lot of numbers here, but the main number that we're concerned with is this statistical T-score, the one here that says negative 0.2, which sounds like a low number, but it's well within the normal threshold. So anything above -1 we know is considered normal bone density. Yep. And we've scanned you a couple of times and that hasn't changed in those 4 scans. So that's completely fine. And
so normal. Bone health, all good.
All good.
Excellent.
So the next portion for today's scan is the body composition analysis. Okay, so as we can see here, we've got Neil's colour map. I'm not sure if you can see it that well there, but we've got yellow is fat, which there's not a lot there. Lean tissue is the pink and the red colour, and yep. Bone is obviously blue there. So you know, if we could see whether or not you had any predisposition to carrying it around your midsection or your hips or anything like that, but we can see there that you don't have a lot of fat.
Well, that's good.
There. Always good, always good. We've got a statistical representation of this colour map now, so we can break you down compartmentally into left and right arms, left and right legs to fix any muscular imbalances or if you're rehabbing from an injury or something like that. But then we've got our specific body fat percentage now. So your overall body fat percentage currently today is 14.3. That pops you in the top 2% for your age group. So that's very impressive for the general public to be there, but also very impressive for
so you hear that,
athlete.
guys? Very impressive. That's the take home here. Very impressive.
That could be your heading for the vlog.
Yeah.
Very impressive. The next number, and this is a number that I try and stress to people for general health, is probably the most important number, and that's your visceral fat number.
Yep.
Visceral fat is that toxic fat around your internal organs. That gives us an increased risk of diabetes, heart attack, cardiovascular disease. And
yep.
although you're using this mainly for performance indicators and trying to improve your performance, even for yourself and the general public, this is a really important indicator so we can reduce lifestyle diseases.
Absolutely, yeah.
And your number, again, along with your body fat indices, is really low. So yours is 31.5, we can see there. The longer we keep that number under 100, the better health outcomes we have as we grow older. So keeping that under 100 is essential, and 31.5 is very, very low.
I got a bit of a buffer there.
You got a bit of a buffer, mate.
Very
Stay
good.
away from the buffet. Alrighty. The next bit, what we show, or the results that we print off, is a summary of all your mass. So we've got your bone mass of 2.7 kilos, so your whole skeleton weighs 2.7 kilos.
That's something that I think people will find particularly interesting, Ty. Like, well, I remember when I first did the scan here, I thought, wow, that's got to be a mistake.
Yeah,
like,
no.
That must be sort of dried out bone or something, but that's it. 2.7 kilos.
And from all the people we've scanned, and we've scanned close to 600 people now on the scanner, they don't change. You know, you can have a 5'5" person or a 6'5" person, and the weight of the bones is about 1.8 to
That's
4
incredible.
kilos. That's all that the change. So being big boned is
There's no excuse.
No
excuse, people.
No excuse. The next bit is your fat mass. So you've got 11 kilos pretty much on the dot of fat mass. You've got 63.4 kilos of lean tissue mass.
Yep.
Okay. And you've currently 77.2 kilos is your total mass at, as we've already established, 14.3.
So that's gone up a little bit from last time, hasn't it?
A little bit up. So we'll go through, because Neil's had a couple of scans here before, what we also get printed out is what we call a rate of change report. And this is this one here. So we can have a look at Neil's first scan, which was on the 7th of October in 2016, where he was actually 18.2% body fat.
Yeah, that was when I got back from China. Ate a lot of dumplings in China. Would be careful. Be careful if you go over there. It can stuff your fat percentage right up.
And you're 80 kilos. So 80 kilos and 18.2% body fat. Now, around about, what's that? That's exactly a month later, you were actually 15.5% body fat at 75 kilos. So obviously some nutritional changes there to your diet and maybe some training.
Yep.
And then you worked your way down to 13.6. So I think that was probably the start of this season, I suppose.
Yep.
You got down to your leanest, and I suppose that
For
gives
the summer climbing races. Yep.
So that gives you your best chance of having the highest power to weight ratio. So at that time you were 75 kilos and 10.2 kilos of body fat. So you weren't carrying around any mass that wasn't going to contribute to your power, which was brilliant. So, but now currently, after a couple of maybe lavish buffets,
A couple of trips to the buffet. Yep.
Was that custard tarts or dumplings?
Look, we won't go into that.
Yeah,
we won't go into that.
All right, but you're currently, after a very good season, but you're 14.3% body fat now at 77.2 kilos. So that's what we have.
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much, Ty.
All right, anytime.
So there you have it. Thanks, Ty at Lifescan, for the DEXA. Knowledge is power, as they say. And I think I might try and get that body fat percentage down to 10% for these next sort of hilly races. Tour of Korea is normally pretty hilly, so maybe I'll try and tackle that one with 10%. Anyway, if this video is something that you'd like to see more of, not this one in particular obviously, but this type of thing, a bit of a behind the scenes, give the YouTube channel a like, or give this video a like, and give us some suggestions. Write a comment, let us know what you'd like to be, what you'd like to see, and we'll do it. So, guess that's it for now. I better go and go for a bit of a ride, burn some fat.